Hello everyone, welcome to Easy English for Everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share to receive the latest videos. Now let's study together.
Hi everyone. Today, we will practice listening and speaking skills with Donald Trump topic. The story is full of surprises, humor, and simple, everyday moments that will make you smile, and this story will help you understand Donald's life and maybe even make you laugh a little. Let's study together. Introduction: Donald Trump's story. Once upon a time, there was a man named Donald Trump. He was very famous and known all over the world. Donald was a businessman, and he had a big, shiny tower in New York City. He was also the president of a country called the United States. But this story is not about his business or his time as president. It's about a funny day in his life that anyone can understand and enjoy. Donald Trump was not just a businessman or a president. He was also a dad and a grandpa. He loved his family very much and always tried to spend time with them. One sunny Saturday, Donald decided to take his grandchildren to the park for a fun day. This might seem like a regular day, but it was anything but ordinary. The story is full of surprises, humor, and simple, everyday moments that will make you smile. Chapter 1: Donald Trump's family. A day at the park. Donald Trump had a big family. He was married to a beautiful lady named Melania, and they had a son named Barron. Barron was a young boy who loved playing video games and sports. Donald also had 4 other children from his previous marriages: Donald Jr., Ivanka, Eric, and Tiffany. Each of them had their own kids, making Donald a grandpa to several grandchildren. On this particular Saturday, Donald and Melania decided to take all the grandchildren to the park. They wanted to have a fun day away from the busy life of the big city. The park was a special place for the family. It had a big playground, a lake with ducks, and a merry-go-round that Barron loved to ride. As they arrived at the park, the children were so excited. They ran to the playground, and Donald and Melania followed slowly, trying to keep up. The children laughed and played on the swings, the slides, and the seesaws. Donald joined in, pushing the kids on the swings and helping them climb the jungle gym. He was not just a grandpa. He was a big kid too. Melania brought a big picnic basket filled with sandwiches, fruit, and cookies. They found a nice, shady spot under a tree and set up their picnic. The children sat around, munching on their food and telling jokes. Donald told a funny story about when he was a little boy, and everyone laughed so hard that some of the children even fell off their picnic blankets. After lunch, they went to the lake to feed the ducks. The children were amazed by how the ducks followed them, hoping for more bread. Donald and Melania watched with big smiles, happy to see their grandchildren enjoying such a simple, fun day. Chapter 2: The Big Surprise. A mischievous duck. After the picnic, the family decided to take a boat ride on the lake. Donald and Melania rented a small rowboat, and they all climbed in. The children were excited to be on the water, and Donald started rowing the boat, making it move smoothly across the lake. The ducks swam alongside the boat, quacking happily. Suddenly, one of the ducks did something unexpected. It jumped into the boat. The children were surprised and a bit scared at first, but Donald reassured them. "Don't worry, little ones. Ducks are just curious," he said, smiling. The duck waddled around the boat, looking at everyone with its big, round eyes. Barron, being the youngest, was the most curious. He reached out to pet the duck, but the duck made a sudden move. It nipped at Barron's finger playfully. Barron laughed, and the duck seemed to laugh too. Donald and Melania couldn't help but giggle at the sight. The duck then hopped onto Donald's lap and started pecking at his shiny, expensive shoes. Donald tried to shoo the duck away, but it kept coming back. The children thought it was so funny that they started clapping and cheering. The duck, feeling like the star of the show, strutted around the boat with its head held high. As they rowed back to the shore, the duck decided to make one last splash. It jumped back into the water, creating a big splash that got everyone a little wet. The children laughed even harder, and Donald said, "Well, that was quite a surprise. Who knew ducks were such good comedians?" Chapter 3: Lost Sunglasses and a Merry-Go-Round Adventure. After the duck incident, the family decided to take a break and let the children play on the swings and slides. Donald and Melania sat on a bench, enjoying the warm sun and watching their grandchildren have a great time. Donald, being the grandfather who always wanted to look his best, wore a pair of stylish sunglasses. He thought they made him look cool and modern. However, while he was sitting on the bench, a gentle breeze came and blew his sunglasses right off his head. The glasses flew through the air and landed in a bush. Donald was shocked and a bit annoyed. He didn't want to take the children away from their fun, so he asked Baron to help him find the glasses. Baron, eager to help, joined his grandpa in the search. They looked high and low, and after a few minutes, Baron found the glasses stuck in the branches of the bush. He carefully pulled them out, and to their surprise, they were still in perfect condition. Donald put them back on and thanked Baron, giving him a big hug. "You're a real hero, Baron," he said, and Baron beamed with pride. Feeling a bit adventurous, Donald then suggested they all go for a ride on the merry-go-round. The children were thrilled, and they ran over to the colorful, spinning ride. Donald and Melania helped the children onto the horses, and as the merry-go-round started spinning, Donald realized he had forgotten his sunglasses on the bench. He quickly went back to get them, but when he returned, something surprising happened. The merry-go-round was spinning so fast that Donald couldn't catch up. He chased it around, trying to get to his grandkids, and the children were laughing so hard they almost fell off their horses. Finally, Donald managed to grab the handle and climb on, but he ended up on a different horse than he intended. The merry-go-round was so much fun that they kept riding it over and over again, each time faster than the last. Chapter 4: The Afternoon Ice Cream Adventure. After all the excitement, the family was getting a bit hungry and thirsty. Donald remembered that there was an ice cream stand near the lake, and he suggested they all get a treat. The children were overjoyed and ran ahead, while Donald and Melania followed more slowly, still chuckling about the merry-go-round adventure. When they reached the ice cream stand, Donald ordered a variety of flavors for everyone. He got vanilla for Baron, chocolate for Ivanka's daughter, and strawberry for Eric's son. The children were so excited that they started to play with their ice cream, making funny faces and trying to get the ice cream to drip on each other. Donald joined in, making silly faces of his own and pretending to be a lion with his ice cream cone as a mane. As they were having their ice cream, a group of friendly park visitors approached them. They recognized Donald and asked for a photo with him. Donald, always happy to meet new people, agreed. The children were a bit shy at first, but they soon relaxed and smiled for the camera. One of the visitors even offered to buy everyone an extra scoop of ice cream, which made the children even happier. After the photos, Donald and the children continued to enjoy their ice cream. But as they walked back to the playground, Donald's ice cream cone began to melt in the warm sun. He tried to eat it quickly, but the ice cream kept dripping down his hand. The children found it hilarious and started to chant, "Grandpa's got a melting ice cream." Donald laughed and said, "Well, I guess I'm just too slow for this weather." Finally, they found a bench to sit and finish their ice cream. The children were happy and content, and Donald felt a warm sense of joy. He looked at his family and thought, This is what life is all about: simple moments, laughter, and love. Chapter 5. A touching encounter. Helping a lost child. As the family was finishing their ice cream, a little girl, no older than Baron, started crying near the playground. Her red cheeks and tear-stained face caught everyone's attention, and Donald quickly went over to see what was wrong. "Hey there, sweetie," Donald said, crouching down to her level. "What's the matter?" The little girl looked up at him with big, scared eyes. "I can't find my mommy," she sniffled. Donald felt a pang of sympathy. He knew how scary it could be to be lost, especially for a young child. "Don't worry," he reassured her. "We'll help you find her." "What does your mommy look like?" The little girl described her mom, and Donald asked the children to help him look. They split up, with Donald and Baron taking one side of the playground and the others taking the other side. They asked if anyone had seen a woman matching the description. After a few minutes, Baron spotted a woman looking around frantically. "Grandpa, I think I found her," he called out. Donald and the little girl ran over, and when they reached the woman, she was visibly relieved. "Thank you so much," she said, hugging her daughter tightly. "I was so worried." The little girl looked up at Donald and said, "Thank you, Grandpa," with a big smile. Donald felt a warm glow in his heart. "You're very welcome, sweetie. Always stay close to your mommy, okay?" he said, giving her a gentle pat on the head. The woman thanked them again, and the family continued their day at the park, feeling a sense of accomplishment and happiness. They headed back to the playground, where the children played a few more games on the swings and slides before it was time to go home. Chapter 6. The Journey Home. A happy ending. As the sun began to set, the family decided it was time to head back home. They packed up their picnic things and walked to the parking lot where their car was waiting. The children were tired but happy, talking about all the fun things they had done that day. On the way back, Donald and Melania asked the children what their favorite part of the day was. Baron said, "The duck on the boat was so funny. I can't believe it." Ivanka's daughter said, "I loved the ice cream and the extra scoop the nice lady gave us." Eric's son said, "The merry-go-round was the best. I wish we could ride it again." And Tiffany's daughter said, "Helping the little girl find her mommy made me feel so good." Donald listened to each of them, feeling a deep sense of pride and joy. He said, "You know, I think we all had our favorite moments, but the best part for me was seeing you all so happy and having fun together. Family days like this are the best." When they got home, the children said goodbye to their grandparents and went inside to rest. Donald and Melania sat on the front porch, sipping lemonade and watching the sunset. They talked about the day and how simple moments can bring so much happiness. Donald said, "Sometimes we get caught up in all the big, important things in life, but it's these little moments that really matter. I'm so glad we got to spend this day with the kids." Melania nodded in agreement. "It's the little things that make life beautiful," she said, reaching out to hold Donald's hand. As they sat there, enjoying the peace and quiet, Donald realized that even though he was a famous businessman and a former president, the most important job he had was being a loving grandfather. The day at the park had reminded him of the simple joys in life and the importance of spending time with the people he loved the most. Chapter 7. Donald Trump's Simple Joy. The day at the park was a special one for Donald Trump and his family. It was a day filled with laughter, surprises, and simple, heartfelt moments. From the mischievous duck on the boat to the ice cream adventure and the touching encounter with the lost child, the day had something for everyone. Donald learned that sometimes the best moments in life are the simplest. A day at the park, a game of tag, or a smile from a grandchild can bring more joy than any business deal or political victory. He cherished these memories deeply and looked forward to many more family days in the future. For beginners learning English, this story is a perfect example of how everyday moments can be fun, surprising, and full of love. It uses basic vocabulary and simple sentence structures, making it easy to follow and understand. The humor and touching elements keep the readers engaged, and the familiar setting of a park and family activities makes the story relatable and enjoyable. So, the next time you go to the park with your family, remember that the simplest moments can create the happiest memories. And who knows, you might even have your own mischievous duck or melting ice cream adventure. Chapter 8. Donald's Early Life. Donald Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in a part of New York City called Queens. His parents were Fred and Mary Trump, and he had 4 brothers and sisters. Donald was the 4th child in his family. When he was little, he went to a school called Q Forest School. It was a nice school where he made many friends. Donald's dad, Fred, was a businessman who built houses and apartments. Fred was very successful and taught Donald a lot about how to work hard and be smart with money. Donald learned that if you want to be successful, you need to be brave and not give up easily. As a child, Donald was very active and liked to play sports. He was good at baseball and basketball. He also enjoyed reading books about famous people and how they became successful. One of his favorite books was about a man who built a big hotel in a small town. This book made Donald dream about building big and beautiful things when he grew up. When Donald was a little older, he went to a special school called New York Military Academy. It was a place where boys and girls learned to be strong and disciplined. Donald learned how to lead and be a good team player. These lessons would help him a lot in the future. Chapter 9. Donald's Education. An early career. After finishing school, Donald went to college at Fordham University. He stayed there for 2 years and then moved to the University of Pennsylvania. At Penn, he studied business and learned how to make money and run companies. Donald was a smart student and often got good grades. He also made many friends and learned how to talk to important people. In 1968, Donald graduated from college with a degree in economics. He was excited to start working and making money. He joined his father's business, the Trump Organization, which built houses and apartments. Donald worked very hard and learned a lot from his dad. He started small, helping to manage some of the buildings, but he had big dreams. One day, Donald found an old, run-down hotel called the Commodore. It was not very pretty or popular, but Donald saw potential. He thought, if I fix this hotel, it could be amazing. So, he convinced his father to buy the Commodore. Donald worked day and night to make it better. He painted the walls, fixed the broken parts, and added new, fancy things. It was a lot of work, but he did not give up. Finally, after many months, the Commodore was transformed into the Grand Hyatt Hotel. It was beautiful, and people loved it. The hotel became very popular, and Donald made a lot of money. This was his first big success, and it made him very happy. Chapter 10. Building the Trump Tower. Donald's success with the Grand Hyatt Hotel made him want to do more. He started thinking about building something even bigger and more amazing. One day, he found a piece of land in the middle of New York City. It was an empty lot, but Donald saw a chance to build something special. He decided to build a tall building called Trump Tower. Building Trump Tower was not easy. Donald had to talk to many people and get their permission. Some people did not want him to build the tower because they thought it would be too tall and change the look of the city. But Donald was very persuasive. He told them that the tower would be beautiful and bring many jobs to the city. Eventually, he got the permission he needed. Donald worked with the best architects and builders to design Trump Tower. He wanted it to be the most luxurious and modern building in the city. The construction took a long time, and there were many challenges. Sometimes, the workers would run out of materials, or it would rain for days, making it hard to work. But Donald never gave up. He visited the construction site often to make sure everything was going well. Finally, after a few years, Trump Tower was finished. It was a huge success. The building had many fancy apartments, a big shopping center, and a beautiful lobby. People from all over the world came to see Trump Tower, and it became one of the most famous landmarks in New York City. Donald was very proud of his achievement. Chapter 11. Donald Trump's Business Ventures. After building Trump Tower, Donald Trump did not stop. He had many more ideas and wanted to make more money. One of his next big projects was to build a huge casino in Atlantic City. A casino is a place where people play games and sometimes win a lot of money. Donald thought it would be a great business. He bought a piece of land and started building the casino. It was called Trump Plaza and was very fancy. There were many bright lights, big rooms, and exciting games. When it opened, people were very excited to visit. The casino was a big success, and Donald made a lot of money. But Donald did not just build casinos and hotels. He also bought many other businesses. He bought a big airline called Eastern Airlines and made it better. He also bought a train company called Conrail and improved the trains. Donald was always looking for new ways to make money and be successful. One of Donald's funniest and most surprising ventures was when he bought a beauty pageant. A beauty pageant is a contest where women show off their beauty and talents. Donald bought the Miss Universe pageant and made it bigger and more popular. He even appeared on TV shows like The Apprentice, where he taught people how to be good business leaders. The show became very popular, and people loved to watch Donald. Chapter 12. Donald Trump's Personal Life. Donald Trump was not just a successful businessman. He was also a family man. He got married 3 times and had 5 children. His first wife was a beautiful model named Ivana. They had 3 children together: Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric. Donald loved his children very much and often took them on trips to see his buildings and businesses. Later, Donald got married to Marla and had a daughter named Tiffany. Then, he married Melania, who was also a model, and they had a son named Barron. Donald's family was very important to him, and he always tried to spend time with them, even when he was very busy. Donald also had many hobbies. He loved to play golf, a sport where you hit a small ball into holes on a big grass field. He built many golf courses and often played with his friends. He also liked to go to parties and meet famous people. Donald was known for his golden hair and his love for being in the spotlight. Chapter 13. Donald Trump's political career. Even though Donald was very successful in business, he had another dream. He wanted to be the President of the United States. In 2015, he announced that he would run for president. Many people were surprised because they did not expect him to be a politician. But Donald was determined. He started going to many cities to give speeches and meet people. He talked about how he would make America great again and create more jobs. Some people loved his ideas, and others did not agree with him. But Donald was very good at talking to people and making them listen. In 2016, Donald won the election and became the 45th President of the United States. This was a very big surprise to many people. Donald moved to Washington, D.C., the capital of the country, and started his new job. As president, he made many big decisions and talked to leaders from other countries. He also had to deal with many challenges and sometimes made people angry with his decisions. One of the funniest moments in Donald's presidency was when he had a meeting with the Queen of England. The Queen is a very important person in the United Kingdom, and Donald was very excited to meet her. But during the meeting, he made a joke about her favorite horse, and the Queen did not laugh. Donald was a bit embarrassed, but still had a good time. Chapter 14. Donald Trump's Legacy. After Donald Trump finished his time as president, he went back to his businesses and family. Many people had different opinions about him. Some thought he was a great leader who helped the country, and others thought he made mistakes. But no one could deny that Donald was a very interesting person who changed the way people think about business and politics. Donald wrote many books and gave speeches about his life and experiences. He taught people that if you work hard and believe in yourself, you can achieve great things. He also talked about the importance of family and having fun. Today, Donald Trump is still a famous person. People all over the world know his name and often talk about him. He continues to be involved in business and politics, and he always has new ideas and projects. So, that's the story of Donald Trump. From a young boy in Queens to a successful businessman and the President of the United States, Donald's life was full of adventures and surprises. He taught us that with hard work and determination, we can achieve our dreams. Whether you agree with him or not, Donald Trump is a person who will always be remembered in history. This story is a great way to learn English because it is simple and clear. It uses common vocabulary and short, easy-to-understand sentences. You can read it again and again to improve your English skills and learn more about full interesting Donald Trump story.